what did you learn from Procter and Gamble? What were the sort of things that you learned there? What were some of the most valuable learnings that you had working for that
Listen,
corporate?
corporate world has the good and the bad, Jeff. I mean, if I was going to work anywhere in corporate America, I would go back to Procter and Gamble today.
Yeah.
The corporate culture was great. How they trained you, and what I learned pretty quickly, and it was interesting if you think of sports teams or you think of clubs and how rotations work. Um, Procter and Gamble did a great job of making you an amazing general manager.
Yep.
As if you use a sports analogy, like cricket or soccer, or you could use American baseball. People try to specialize, and the way Procter and Gamble came in is saying, "Gosh, Rick, you were really, really great at this technical role. We're going to put you in a sales role and train you there. Rick, you've mastered the sales role. We're now going to put you into a finance role." And then what happened over time, even though I wanted discussion, maybe I wanted to stay in sales, you wanted to stay in finance. What you started to realize over time is they were building you up to become this person that understood business. And so the one thing that P&G prepared me for was that I would be able to manage a business. I understood every facet of the operation as opposed to being very specialized. Now, there's nothing wrong with being an amazing quarterback, an amazing pitcher, an amazing goalie. There's nothing wrong with that. But those roles are few and far between, as you know, as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you've got to go broad and specialize within a specific field, but the breadth was really important. So that was one thing. I think the second thing that Procter & Gamble really helped kind of drive home was that as you're working with clients, or in this case, customers, is that the customer is always right. And I know people listening are really smart. I get it. I mean, everyone's really smart. They know exactly what they want. But the sooner you realize that your customer is right, and I know it's an overused term, but the customer's right, the better off you're going to be. The best advice I ever received outside of P&G was week 2, Jeff, of my entrepreneurial journey. He said, "Rick, write this down." He said, "This will be the best advice you've ever received." This guy's name was Dr. Stephen Graves, Dr. Graves, amazing author, great coach. He said, "Rick, as an entrepreneur, you're only as good as you invoice and collect. Everything else outside of that means you have an expensive hobby." And I said, that's, he said, "Rick, don't overthink this." Because every person within P&G thought everything they did was the best. Oh, here's a great product, great this. P&G was quickly to say, it doesn't matter how great you think it is. If the customer's not willing to pay for it, it's just a really interesting idea. And so we came into this entrepreneurial thing saying, yeah, but my baby's beautiful. No one would ever say their baby's ugly. And you realize pretty quickly that all of your friends and family would tell you, "Oh, it's a great idea, Rick. We love your idea, Jeff. Great idea." And then it was time for someone to pay for it, and they wouldn't pay for it. You said, well, the customer must be wrong. Because obviously I have the best idea in the world. P&G helped me understand that early on, is that you've got to have a product, you've got to have a service that your customer wants to buy. And so I took those two things with me over my entrepreneurial career over the last 20 years.